Jun. Hey! 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 And as well as Mabuni's teaching on angles, his other idea was that if a punch is shown, in the kata it might be a Chodan Gakuzuki, but in a practical application that may not be available. So Mabuni said that it's any punch that will work. So, you know, if he's well covered up and I can't get a Chodan punch in, I can go Jodan. There's no point in me trying to punch him in the elbow when I can hit him in the head. So the kata's a blueprint, and he says, do a punch. But it's any punch you can make fit. Same with kicks. In the kata to Mayagiri. But if you're in this position, and I can't get the Mayagiri in, I can use a Hizagiri. So it's adapting the kata to the real world situation in front of you, and you're not straying from the kata doing Hizagiri because the Hizagiri is half a Mayagiri. It's still a kick. So if you're doing partner work, and especially if you're trying to make it realistic, do what's available in front of you. Don't try and force a bad technique when you can find a good technique. So revision key points number 2. I think it was the One Shoe video. We discussed my 2 words, mat and I. Mat is the distance and timing. I is to harmonise and blend. And if you can sort of apply that to your techniques, then you'll find it's a lot better. You'll be able to understand, move, and set yourself up where you need to be for your techniques to be available. So if I can borrow Sensei Cash. So in the demonstration we did a little bit earlier, this isn't the correct distance. This isn't the correct distance. This is the correct distance. I'm covered, I can strike. I've blended with him. I'm not out here, I'm not in here. You know, if I'm too far away, I'm sort of reaching and clutching. So try and make your distances as convenient as you can for your next move. If you find you're having to reach or your punches aren't quite there, you're not performing Mai correctly. Your distance and timing and your harmonisation. And as we mentioned in the previous video, when you're doing partner work, you'll see that the junior grades and they'll be punching here. Until they've developed distance and control, that's probably a good thing. But you know, as you got through the grades, you need to have technique left, penetration through the technique. So part of what you need to be looking for as part of your progress is the ability to hit the point, gi contact with power, with any internals you might be using, but not injuring your opponents. And that's when you really start to get into and understand Mai. So the next recap is the concept of one technique, 1,000 applications. So we see this in the kata. So we'll have a look now at making this shape, but doing it in very, very different techniques. So classic one, we've got 2 opponents, we need to create a bit of space, we get rid of him, then we can deal with the other guy. come in as a barge, get your weight behind it, boom. Maybe even throw an Namazuki underneath. But we can also make the same shape and get arm locks. Arm locks. Same thing. Yep. So you've changed from a barge technique to an arm lock technique. In practical karate, drags, where you manipulate your opponent to the position you want them in. So we can do it as an arm drag. We get him here, we can drag him in. We come on the inside, we can drag him in. So we can use it as a drag to position him where you want him next. Then once you've positioned him with your drag, you can use it as a control. So it's the same position. I've just got him by the bicep. You can get hold of the meat if you like. If I come on the inside as a drag, I can do the same here. The same. So now, control, strike. So one technique, 1,000 applications. So as you're practicing your bunkai, find these techniques, go and have a think, what can I get from this? And this was Funakoshi's argument. With the kata, you learn the perfect posture, tenshi, heaven and earth, using your internals, everything else. But then you take that, even if I've got him here, I'm still thinking tenshi. So I'm taking my kata, but I'm putting him in a lock. So this was Funakoshi's argument. Learn your perfect technique in your kata, then take it and apply it into real-world practical applications. So, revision key point number 4, transferable skills. Something you've learned in one kata, it isn't just for that kata. It's a skill you've learned and you can apply it in other situations, other katas. So we covered in Naihanchi, Koshanku, this position. In Naihanchi, we covered this position. In Jion, we get this position. So from Naihanchi, we described it as control. Yeah? I've got him. He's under control. Again from Naihanchi, neck crank. I've got him. Yep. Same with Jion. If he's coming in, trying to swamp me, back of the neck, boom. If I need to, grab him by the windpipe, control him. Then I can go to Naihanchi, take him down. So a skill we've learned in Naihanchi, Koshanku, we can take into this one. So these hand positions, in one show we describe them as mudras, which are esoteric. It could be, the intention is the flow of energy around the body, or it could be something as simple as grabbing him by the back of the neck and hitting him, taking him down. So we went from Jion to Naihanchi, took him down. So we transferred a skill from one kata to another. So don't think of your katas as individual items. And the fifth revisional key point is Tagumi. Tagumi is the indigenous wrestling system of Okinawa. And I get the feeling that the original karate had a lot of Tagumi. It's got lost. I think karate became very fixated on competition, bouncing up and down, backwards, forwards, one punch, one kill, and a lot of the wrestling and throws were taken out. So back to this position, one technique, 1,000 applications. If you're looking at it from a Tagumi point of view, like I said, we've mentioned, we've got him here, I can wrestle him, put in strikes, but it's also almost exactly the same as the seatbelt grip for a Nagoshi throw. Got him here, load him up on the hip, over we go. So don't dismiss these as just being punching and striking techniques. There's also wrestling techniques in here. If you reach underneath, take him over. Take him over. So wrestling techniques are also hidden in your katas if you think about them a little differently. So don't just think block punch. Have a look, see what else you can find within your kata.
Nice. So hope you enjoyed today's session. Can I stress that these are just Kai sets, they're not sacrosanct. You need to look at them and make the kata your own. And that's the main thing, make the kata your own. So these are just suggestions. So please bear that in mind when you are practicing. What have I learned through it? I think basically you need to do Jitai and Jihon together. They work together. What one lacks, the other gives. What the other one lacks, the other one gives. And it's the same when you do similarity. It's when you can't do Seishan without understanding Naihanchi. They work together as a pair. You can't just practice one, you need both of them. And the same with this. So one supports the other. That's what I've taken away from this. So, yeah, I'd like to thank Cash for joining us, and Sensei Kerry, and obviously Simon and Tanya for doing the filming, and most probably a lot of hours doing the editing later on. So, Aish, thank you.